Qualifying leads is a very important part of the sales process. And we'll go into exactly why. But if you are bad at qualifying leads, your life as a sales manager or as a salesperson will be miserable. You will not close enough deals, and you will not make the commissions that you would like to make, and you will be very frustrated, and you will not know why. So closing or qualifying deals is very, very important. The reason is, and all of you probably know what a pipeline is by now, the reason is that qualification happens at the top of the pipeline. It essentially is the gating item that allows you, do you let people in or not into your pipeline? And the way I talk about it is, does this deal have any chance of closing? And if so, does it look and smell like a deal that has a high probability of being very much like your other customers that have closed? Or does it look like something in particular is uniquely weird or trying about that account, including their ability to pay you, by the way, that makes them not worth you going after? Essentially, this is the first step of letting a company into your pipeline. And if you let them into your pipeline, that means you're going to allocate resources and time toward closing them, including the salesperson's time. So is it worth it? Do they look like they will close? If you wonder about your ratios on your pipeline, how come so many deals come into the top of my pipeline and so few come out the bottom? Qualification could play a large part in that. I mean, there are other reasons, but if you poorly qualify deals, that's what's going to happen. So what is deal qualification and how does it happen? And essentially, why do you do it? More or less, it's saying, is this a closable deal? If it's not, I should throw it out right away and not waste any more time on it. Why shouldn't I waste any more time on it? Because it'll end up driving up my cost of sale, which we'll get to in a second. But there's a few things you should know about qualifying deals. One, and this is a truism across every business I've ever seen, is that sales guys are terrible at it. Sales guys are, by nature, optimistic, and they will say, don't worry, I will figure out a way to close that deal. Or, oh, no, it's no big deal that they haven't paid a bill in 6 months. Or, it's no big deal that they're hiring a new CEO next month. Or, it's no big deal that something else is broken about that account. They will always think that they can close those deals. So don't let your sales guys make that decision. Instead, set non-negotiable rules about what a qualified deal is. And those are going to be unique to your business. But look at the deals you've already closed and what they have in common, and start to set the deals that you go very far along the pipeline and bomb, and set parameters around what those deals are. And make your sales guys stick to it. Do not allow them to pursue a deal that doesn't fit your qualification metrics. You're going to have to work with your team to set those metrics, but it's super important to set metrics and not let the sales guys decide for themselves because they're bad at it. So what happens when you're good at qualifying deals, when you don't let deals that will never close into the pipeline? All kinds of good things happen. You have better ratios because you start with a number of deals that have a high chance of closing. And more importantly, you have a low cost of sale. When you divide the time that your sales force spent closing these deals based on the number of deals that you closed, you're going to get a lower cost per deal because you're not going to spend a bunch of time working on a deal that will never close. And that's what the bad outcome is. The bad outcome is you take these deals into your pipeline and you try and you try and you try and you spend all this time and energy. You may visit them, you may do demos, you may produce new materials, and then they're never going to close. Or they're never going to pay you because they have financial problems. So bad qualification leads to a high cost of sale. You'll have frustrated sales guys, maybe even more importantly, because they'll spend all of their time and energy trying to close deals that never do. And you'll have accounts receivable problems. Some of those deals will actually close. They'll sign a contract, but they'll just never pay you. So remember, qualification goes from the start, but also has to do with getting paid. It is the key step that allows them out of this general market category into a qualified category. And you have to set non-negotiable rules around that. If you're bad at this, it's going to be very inefficient and costly. If you're good at it, your ratios will look a lot better and you'll be a more efficient organization.